cover around me so you can hear. But we heard from a woman a short time ago who was out here looking for her sister in this parking lot. She was still being wheeled across the street.
Well, I thought I would chime in on this whole fire situation, as I spent much of my teen years in the Pacific Palisades, and I'm quite familiar with the area. I got a lot of friends who live there. In fact, my father-in-law lives up in there somewhere, and it's a devastating fire. I think this is going to be one for the one of those fires where when the dust settles in the morning, it's going to be quite hectic. So, and then there's another fire going on out by Pasadena. This is what we're watching now. So they're switching between the two fires because I guess the winds are pretty gnarly tonight out there. I know they're gnarly here, but they're blowing out of a different direction. I don't really like watch duty. I'm more of a Cal Fire kind of guy. But I'm trying to limit the number of apps I have on my phone, actually. But so here we are. I think I'm kind of waiting for us to switch back over to the Palisades, but apparently there's some nursing home they're evacuating in Altadena, which is by Pasadena. But I was watching the Palisades fire, man, and it is crazy what's going on in there. I mean, part of Pali High is burned down. Part of the elementary school looked like it burned down, and it's just kind of burning through the neighborhoods, as it is a very densely packed upper middle class enclave between the Pacific Ocean and the Santa Monica Mountains. So it's got, dense vegetation in the Santa Monica Mountains to the to one side of it, and then the Pacific Ocean on the other, and then it's just highly dense upper middle class high end living. So it looks like this situation in Altadena is sort of taking center stage. And I mean, yeah, it looks hectic. I mean, look at how the wind is bending the signs. We were watching the ATF guys load up the Fox is the one that I've actually been. We're in Pasadena right now. But I mean, there's really not much. We're just going to witness. We're just being witnesses for this. Again, I was watching someone's house burn down right next to a friend of mine's place in the Palisades across from Pali High. And no fire engines, a bunch of burned houses next to it, and just witnessing it, man. Those people are probably watching on television or live stream their house burning down. It's a pretty surreal situation when you've been through it. And I have to say, like, when I was on my live stream earlier, and I really didn't get the magnitude of what was going on in the Palisades. I was just like, yeah, another fire. But now that I see what it's like it's in the Palisades, like in the village. So I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty devastating morning when they wake up. I think a lot of people are losing their realities tonight, dude. And I hope they maintain their deep. Well, they'll get the spiritual test anyway. That's all I can say about that. But so we're just gonna witness it. I figured I'm watching it like because that's what. Let me get my drink. Let's see. I'm sort of waiting for them to switch back to the Palisades here so we can. But I think this situation in Pasadena has got the Palisades thing was just sort of generally bad. I mean, generally just house after house burning down, one after the other. I mean, it was interesting. They were over by where were they? I need my phone actually to get my map up. I don't like to do it on the computer. So, all right, here we're, looks like we'll click in the sound when we get back to, I think they were on Marquez. So I used to roll hard with a bunch of Palisades kids back in the day. Palisades PLB, dude, if there's anyone out there, PLB, dude. But, so I was watching them. I was watching on Via de la Paz, which is basically downtown Palisades, and Swarthmore there. All right, here we're back to the Palisades. Let me get some volume on this.
Just the last couple of minutes, we started getting very, very heavy gusts. It's basically pushing us around. And when that happened, all the flames, everything that was on fire just exploded. The flames just got so much bigger.
People's lives, man.
Live shot I showed you.
That's
is
basically
Palisades
Elementary. That's Palisades Elementary. You can see down the street, it's just burning.
When we went up the steps to look
down the street,
we saw that some buildings were burning, others were not. Over here, it looks like something, perhaps a rock wall, has also caught fire. And this is the backside of the school. This is the map on Swarthmore. And even in the last 10 minutes,
and it's up
if we come that way, I can show you a house
burning
caught
down
fire.
towards the
and
ocean.
Further down the road, multiple homes are burning. In fact, there was a man who drove out who told us that dozens of homes were on fire. And as we were going down there, it became too dangerous, so we had to turn around. But the conditions are just worsening. They're not improving for firefighters. These
it's going to burn the whole place
embers
down.
All over the place. And we're
There's
seeing
no
palm
fire
trees
engines.
catch
If
fire.
you'll notice this
Sadly,
coverage, there's no fire engines on
also
Swarthmore.
businesses on De La Cruz.
And there's
business there. It looks like
probably
it's a total
on that
loss.
street alone.
Right next to the Frontier Communications building.
There's
vegetation on the Frontier's Communication building has also burned, but fortunately does not look like the building has. And down the road from us, going in the opposite direction, closer to Via de la Paz, we are starting to finally see firefighting resources. We saw a couple of fire trucks
going to the bottom
that other
of the
direction.
stream. Those are all
and just a few minutes ago, Cal Fire pickup went through here.
So basically, with wind conditions like this,
surveying the area.
It'll burn all
night
to
the right,
to the ocean.
See, another home is burning. And again, as I said,
look, there's no fire engines
further down
anywhere.
the street,
That's
he saw dozens and dozens of homes burning. He's a property owner. He had gone to check on his properties. He said it was not safe. So he got out. He also advised us not to go down there either. And this is the house that I showed you earlier. And now it looks like it's a total loss.
I don't know for sure.
That
I don't
house there
conjecture
was on fire, then cut. This one
that's
on
like
fire.
a whole different neighborhood where you get down on the PCH and go.
These flames and the ring of embers have ignited other homes
but if it's
on
that
fire
bad there and
as
the fire
well.
was
So that is the
behind
latest right
coastline,
now from Swarthmore.
Hectic.
Let's send it back to you.
One devastating scene after the other. Christy Fajardo, thank you. You and your crew stay safe. We have some new video into the newsroom, and this is from a stringer, a photographer on the scene from TNLA, Sal Hirsch, who shot some video of an injured firefighter being rescued by CAL FIRE, it looks like, getting tended to here. And I believe that Sal is on the line with us right now. Sal, are you there?
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for the great work that you do. So tell us about this incident. This is while fighting the Palisades fire, one injured firefighter.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not exactly sure what agency that firefighter was with, but they put out a Mayday call. Apparently, she may have had some sort of blow to the head,
with this fire situation,
and she was in unknown condition. So we were just right down the street filming some of the destruction that ensued prior to that incident, and we got there pretty quick, and we saw CAL FIRE crews as well as some LAFD personnel lifting her on a thing, and they put her on the back of a pickup truck and ended up transporting her out of the fire zone. So it was definitely a pretty hectic scene, very crazy, and I just hope she's going to be okay.
Was she conscious? Was she talking to them?
It looked like her eyes were open. I didn't see her. It's like a real, I didn't see her physically talking or anything, but her eyes were open, which is a good sign.
So this is the Palisades fire. What location was this within the Palisades?
This was on Bowdoin Street and Via de la Paz.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, we've been reporting all day, you know, and it's been great to report. The only good thing that we can report is we haven't heard of any injuries. So at least we know of, unfortunately, at least one firefighter injured in this firefight. Did you see anyone else being treated while you were there?
No, not while I was there. That was luckily the only injury that I did witness.
Like the fact that it burned down,
you know, just hope she's going to be okay.
Can you talk to us about your reporting experience tonight? What's it been like for you out on the roads?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been the most apocalyptic scene that you can imagine.
Funny,
we've been here all day. We have a team of 5 photographers that have been here all day. And you know, it started off, you know, obviously very intense and everything. But as you know, the winds kind of intensified towards the evening. Things just have gotten way out of control. The fire activity is extremely erratic. The wind is just so unpredictable.
Will you do some skate tricks for me? And she had her camera out, dude. And we started doing skate tricks, and we were like skating on the stairs in front of the school, dude. And then after like 10 minutes, she's like, I'm taking these pictures to the police. This is illegal what you're doing, dude. And me and my buddy Wolfie were like laughing at her, going, dude, can you at least give us some of those photos, dude, before yeah, but that place is gone. And then part of Pali High burned down, and then if you looked across, you could see where like my buddy Will's house is, dude. It's kind of gnarly, dude. I have to say I didn't quite grasp what was going on when we were watching the bulldozing of the cars footage, dude. But yeah, mandatory evacuation. Yeah, winds are insane. The winds are pretty good up here too, man. But we're getting it more from a south wind up here, which is not the norm. But started by a drunk drone pilot. Yeah, is that why? Look at the footprint. So over here, dude, I don't know so over in here, right in there, that neighborhood over there is dense, dude. And it's right at the toe of the mountains, dude. And this is where they were filming earlier. Okay, I figured out how to get my pointer in here, dude. Oh, look at, let me scratch. Look at this, dude. I was watching the other channel, but the weather lady looked like an alien. So hectic, dude. Yeah, we're working it all out, Ellie. We're gonna dial it all in here. We just turned the volume off. We're gonna wait till look at that big gust, dude. That's gnarly, dude. That's blowing right down the gut. Really, chelada burned down, gnarly, dude. Really, chelada and the feed barn are gone. Real inn is gone. No way, dude. Wow. Where'd you get that info from? Free as a bird. I mean, shit, my friend's Instagram's pretty good. Hectic, dude. Wow, man. So it got over in the mouth of Topanga, dude. Chelada. Oh no. No, look, all the grifters are posting all their stuff right now, dude. Well, that guy shouldn't have been doing that, dude. Look at this guy, dude. I should almost go to Instagram, dude. Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to get a good live feed on Insta. Gnarly, dude. Let me see. I'm trying to find my one. She's got a news thing. And let's see. Where is it? Come on, man. Where's the Malibu? Malibu local. There it is. Let's see what the Malibu local's got for us, dude. No, dude. Why is that December 24th? Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Everyone's got the Good Samaritan, like cooking himself. I don't know if that's advised, dude, when it's flaming like that, man. Yeah, dude. Fire's gnarly, dude. You got to get out in the country. At least you got a chance to fight and save your place. Like, we're pretty prepared, dude. I've got my tractor ready to go. I got a gas powered, like full blown water pump with official fire hoses. I got my sumps with my generators. I got the pool pumps. Like I'm ready to rock and roll, dude. Plus I keep it pretty tight around here, dude. All right, let's see what's going on in the Palisades.
It's almost like a whirlwind, and they're landing on homes. And if we pan that way, you can see something is burning behind there. I know that there is a power pole that is on fire, but that much of a glow suggests it's something much larger as well. And those embers that you saw flying are actually coming from Palisades Charter Elementary. Something is burning right on the other side of that fence. You've watched that fire come in our direction. We're actually on Swarthmore. And the rain of embers have ignited other fires. In fact, I showed you some homes that were burning earlier. Now we're seeing multiple trees, and at one point it looked like a car was going to go on fire. There were Palisades that were underneath it that were burning, and Gino, who is behind the camera, thought very quickly, and he was able to move those fronds away from that car, and the car luckily does not appear to be damaged. But unfortunately, there's really nothing we can do to save the homes and the elementary school and the other buildings that we see burning. And also, you heard firefighters
look at that. That's
and the LAPD telling people to evacuate hours ago. And this is why the visibility is really, really poor.
And it's not, because they're probably guaranteed they're
all the
somewhere else.
And also the wind. In fact, Gino, can you pan this way? Look at what the embers are doing now. Gino, pan towards the school. Look, want to show you. There just was one giant gust, and there we go again. Embers just flying everywhere. And this is what firefighters are having to deal with, and why they say this is like trying to stop a tornado. There's really nothing you can do when these embers are whipping around like this and landing on homes and landing on vegetation.
Look at that. That's hectic.
They'll ignite sometimes blocks and blocks away.
Oh, no.
So they can be fighting a fire in one area and not even know that another is on fire. So witnessing very, very tough conditions tonight for the firefight. Let's send it back to you.
That's an understatement, as you know, Christy, and it's tough for you to be out there in the crew. We appreciate you so much. This is the Palisades fire. We want to turn our attention back to the Eaton fire. This one erupted at 6:30 tonight, so it's been about 3 hours. This is
all right. We're not that interested in the Eaton. Oh, dude, check out this crazy alien, dude. Look at the wind. Look at the wind gusts. Can you tell me, like, dude, what is oh, so my pointer doesn't work. Okay. I thought it was on the it doesn't work. That's disappointing. Yeah, I saw the Steve Gutenberg stuff. I couldn't believe how the reporter was like trying to interview him about the cars in the road. It's like, you look familiar. Are you an actor? And Gutenberg's like, dude, yeah, but dude, people got to stop leaving their cars in the road. He's like, so you're an actor. It's crazy, dude. People are such star effers, man. It's nuts, dude. I can't handle this weird alien here. I'm gonna switch streams, dude. It freaks me out, dude. Let's go back to the oh no, I went back to the same one I didn't want to go back to, dude. And here we go. There we go. All right, we're in. Look at this dude. What's this guy up to? I don't know. He's got his goggles though. He's ready. He ain't playing. Shit's on fire, man. Oh, no. At least they got the fire guys up in their front yard, dude. Yeah, can I get your autograph, dude? I'm trying to help people evacuate. Can I get your autograph, though? Can I get a selfie with you? I'm surprised you didn't get a selfie with him. You're Steve Gutenberg. Can I get a selfie with you? Who can name the last Steve Gutenberg flick, man? That's the question. Oh, these guys are buddies, dude. Let's hear what they're all about.
In years, a long time. So last person I expect to see him is this guy, but somehow he found his way up here.
Yeah, how are you? I've been asking everybody how you're holding up with this.
I live in La Chiana, Flinders, but my godmother, she lives down the road, and so I was on my way to her house because she got told to evacuate, and then I saw this, and we all just pitched in to help.
Yeah, I saw everybody moving in using
helping the
unfortunately, it wasn't doing much because the flames were so strong. But as soon as the firefighters arrived, you can see now
the
that the flames are out. There are obviously some hot spots, but you know, not as what it was, you know, when we first got here.
PCH, man, that was sort of one of those weird enclaves of like old schoolers who managed to hang on to their beachfront living with their trailers, dude, gone. I think that one report said there's like 180 homes in there. So I think the number is going to be catastrophic tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that the real fires going on is over by coast. I can't believe Chilada and the feed barn are gone, dude. That's crazy, dude. Chilada and the feed barn. Not Chilada. Chilada did fantastic Thai food. Chilada, dude. Man, been there forever and just some funky old shack. Well, if the Chilada's gone, that means it's getting pretty close to those houses that are on the corner there on the PCH. Gnarly, dude. Maybe I need to find some better coverage here, dude. Let's see. What's a better? Let me see. Oh, we're back to the Palisades. Wait, I gotta get back here. Wait, I got the wrong channel going, dude. Let's get back to the other one. What do we got?
You know, the winds may have kicked it back up because we're seeing these flames jetting out of the roof of the apartment building, and firefighters are once again here on the scene trying to assess the situation, trying to get water on that fire. You can see fresh fuel is burning inside of that building, black smoke coming out of the top of it. And as Danny was talking and giving her, talking about the forecast, talking about the
Police
wind,
Academy, there you go.
It's actually really terrifying out here. The winds are blowing so hard. We're next to a fence. It was unclear the fence was going to blow away or these trees will come down. I mean, it's just very dangerous out here. Imagine all of the loose debris that could be, sort of sent into the roadway. There's down power lines not far from where we are. It's just a very, very scary situation out here. And it's just not letting up. The winds are just relentless and just slamming this area, making it so difficult for firefighters.
No.
For 1 second,
you can go.
It's so odd. It will get cold for a few minutes, like chilly, and then the wind will shift, and all of a sudden you feel the heat from the flames, and it's warm. It's just so erratic, and it's just surreal.
De La Paz and
firefighters doing all they can to get these hot spots under control, but it just becomes so impossible when the wind picks up again, like it is right now. But they do appear to have a number of firefighters here in this area. Also over in that hillside area you're looking at right now, there's a number of what appear to be structures burning in there as well. Pat and Juan, it's just a tough situation out there tonight, and firefighters doing all they can.
It's so hard to envision that they almost had that fire out, or thought they did, and then just to have it break out again. But then that's what happened. So they're going to be out there all night, apparently, trying to watch for spots that burn down, or where you think they're going to be gone, and then they just spark
Gutenberg and Cocoon.
A wind. It doesn't take much, does it?
I mean, if I were to look at the fire footprint.
All right,
Pat, were you speaking to me? Sorry.
According to Cal Fire, I mean, so if you look at it, it looks like it's getting started right at the top of the highlands there. I mean, if you look at that, what's that? Someone, an idiot. There's all these houses there. Who knows, man? Someone being stupid. All right. More will be revealed, but yeah, it probably started right there. I think reality's just cooked. Gnarly, fully engulfed. Doesn't take much Colin, it doesn't take much to start a fire when the wind's like that. I don't know. I think everybody's hyperactive about it's got the Woolsey fire was a power line fell down. Most of them are just stupid shit. Stupid stuff happens, man. Literally could have been, a kid with a sparkler. Oops. Could be anything, man. Is there always need to be a nefarious activity? I don't think so. There's no Chinese asymmetric warfare in action. Guaranteed it was like a dude welding something out by a fence out in the back. Guaranteed it was like a worker doing something stupid. Look at all those thrash cars, dude. Oh, what's up, Derp? Long time no see, man. Yeah, dude. It's you. People don't understand that. Like, let me turn this volume down.
Sir,
let me explain like chaparral for a second. So the chaparral, these mountains, the Santa Monica Mountains, are chaparral, and chaparral has basically a 7-year burn cycle. It's kind of supposed to burn every 7 years. It's meant to burn. It's called fire ecology. It's an ecology of an ecosystem that's meant to burn. So the chaparral, it produces oils in the plants. So when the fire happens, it's literally like a Roman candle going up. You throw in the wind, you throw in the dry air, you throw in the fact we've had a dry winter. You could literally like 2 rocks could spark together on a day like today with the wind blowing like that, and it's going to go up. And once it goes, there's no stopping it, man. It's one of these things that there's no stopping it. So yeah, you have a place like the Palisades sitting right beneath the 2,500 foot elevation peaks that go right out of the back of the Palisades, and yeah, the wind blows and a spark happens and boom. I don't really get into the conspiracy stuff. I think that's kind of silly, because it doesn't need to be a conspiracy. Like it's just people living next to fire ecology zones. Like, yeah, it's weird. As a person who's lost 2 homes in wildfires in the Santa Monica Mountains, people shouldn't be living there. Basically, it's going to happen, and it's going to keep happening, and it's never going to stop happening until people stop living in zones that have fire ecology. Like, I live in a fire ecology zone, so you got to be super proactive, man. Is it's gnarly, dude. And eucalyptus trees are super flammable. They've got oils, and all those palm trees, dude. The palm trees are the dumbest thing ever. It's like having a Roman candle in front of your house, man. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Share this one. So it's again is people like to have palm trees in front of their houses. Well, you can watch most of this fire. Look at that. Look at that wind blowing right there. That is hectic, dude. I remember when the Thomas fire happened and people were like, they're shooting laser beams and there's laser beams. I was literally watching it from Rainbow Mountain on my deck. There was no laser beams going on. It's people's the little smart meters on their things, dude. It's like, dude, it's
sadly we're seeing another what looks like a home.
That's a restaurant destroyed. Right there, by the way.
And what is really telling is that we keep seeing buildings there, like the one on the right that appear to be made of concrete. There's another one, the Frontier Communications building, that appears to be made of brick. And those are
that's very crazy. That is downtown Palisades right there.
They have not caught fire, but we've been talking about the winds, and you can see what they're doing with these embers. They hit those flames and they just rip up all of these embers. And
I mean, that's the CBS in downtown.
Up down the street and towards buildings and homes that have not burned. And that is why firefighters are stretched so thin. There are so many fires burning.
Derby picked up some steps
that you see flying has the potential to start another
good for
fire.
You, man.
So
firefighters need a good step
are trying to keep up with all of this, but there's really no way to do so. And over there on the right, that is actually Palisades Charter Elementary School.
Yeah, conspiracy theory helps the score. Yeah,
I went up the steps and we took a look. This is the backside of the school.
God, that's crazy, dude. I mean, those are homes on fire.
You can only hope that they will stay that way.
Densely
but the playground
residential area.
Wall,
and you're not talking like
structures,
beater houses. You're talking houses that are probably
and they've been on fire now
like
for probably about 2 hours.
a pop.
And we've seen
start at 2
fire
million.
coming through and looking at it, but we've not seen any firefighters actually battling the fire at the school.
Like
but again, we are on the backside of the school. And I've talked so much about those embers and what they do to palm trees, and you can see evidence of it right there.
Apartment.
The palm tree across the street,
I rented a
and
place
the 3 that we're looking at are all on fire.
10 blocks away from this.
Those palm fronds, unfortunately, fall off the tree or they blow away and catch something else on fire. And we've witnessed that a house that was ignited.
That was a restaurant right
precisely
there,
because of palm fronds that were burning were blown in its direction. And we also saw a car almost catch fire because it was parked on some palm fronds. And those caught fire from those rain of embers that you've seen. And luckily, Gino, who was behind the camera, noticed that and he was able to pull the burning palm fronds away from the car and save the car. Unfortunately, we can't do that for the buildings you see here. And most of the people in this neighborhood have evacuated, although occasionally we'll see one car go by, like the one you just saw. But most of the people did heed it, and fortunately, because you would not want a mass of people trying to evacuate now. Visibility is very poor. The winds are really, really strong. In fact, I've been standing and almost knocked off my feet. That's how powerful they occasionally are. And that's also what firefighters are dealing with and what they fear at this hour. Let's send it back to you.
Chelsea, Christy Fajardo there. Thank you so much. With Gino Arias, thank you for all of your reporting tonight. We want to go back to the Eaton fire. This is in Altadena. Gina Silva, you were just showing us a home there, and this is the live picture again from our Mount Wilson camera that shows the.
We'll turn the volume off on that. But I can't handle this weather. Where is I gotta find. Let me see if I can find some better coverage here. There's got to be like a local Palisades fire. Where is it? Live. All right, we're on Fox already. I think we're on this one. Live now, Fox. Palisades Charter School catch live. Let's see what the Crux has got in Edgewater Towers, dude. Where are those, dude? This looks like it's from earlier today. Oh, what do we got here? Is that a dude in Pasadena? Pasadena going up, man. Gnarly. I'm gonna run out of power in a second if I don't. Let me see, what's this Crux one all about? Yeah, there's a lot of that, dude. Volunteer fire. Oh, wait. Here we go. Let's see, what is this? I mean, no, I can't believe that the feed barn really burned up, man. That would be crazy, dude. What's this guy got, dude? Where is that, dude? That's from earlier today, it looks like. Hectic. Oh, dude, that's on Sunset down by the bottom there. All right. Oh, gnarly. Oh, that's down by the Vaughns. It's like Sunset and PCH, dude. Looks like someone's Hanukkah setup burnt. Oh, that's gnarly. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's from earlier today. We got to get some light. There's a fire station there. bounce in the house. The Self-Realization Institute is right up the street. All right, here's some more nighttime. Crux, you're not doing it for me. Crux is not doing it for me. We'll give him another minute here. Dude, none of them are fire adapted when it turns into a firestorm. That's the retaining wall in the Palisades. Damn, that burned up below the Getty. Here we are cruising down the PCH. What is that? This is good, just B-roll from the there's some schooling going on, dude. All right, I'm gonna find a better station here. Dude. This one's not working for me. Let's go live. Palisades Fire. The Surfer's View, dude. No. What's Portland Andy got? Portland Andy actually might be the way to go. He's got all the live streams already like sussed out. Let's go to Portland Andy. Like 10 streams going, but whatever. What up, Portland Andy, dude?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
When a Portland
chip
Andy.
Cookie dough.
Oh, got another one right there.
Tell somebody.
Yeah, but I think a lot of these eucalyptus we got over here aren't the adapted ones. They just go up, man. It's the palm trees that really start shaking the scene up, dude.
Operations from the strike team.
Where are we getting into the bowl cut?
Screw it.
When you send me like $600, dude.
1055 from operations. Go ahead.
And then the last one was $400, dude. So
peanut butter bars, yummy.
Just $600 move.
I do need coffee or soda. You're right, Mary.
Once you're done with that coffee,
did I make some coffee?
$600 on that, dude.
It's only been 8.5 hours straight. The yellow meter says we get snow and ice on Friday.
Well, yeah, that's all that fire ecology stuff's meant to regrow after the fire. That's the beauty of it. That's why it's fire ecology, right? Like, well, you know, Anthony, it's like all this stuff that's burning tonight. It's all chaparral. It's supposed to burn. I don't know why you would put your house in the middle of it, but you know, people do what people do, dude.
1055 at 23. Yeah, copy that. You should have been getting rescued 92.
An hour ago?
I don't know what fucking. Oops, excuse my French.
Coffee and crab legs. That's a new one.
All right, Portland Andy isn't doing it for me. It's too cluttered.
Thank you, Dad.
I'm over the crux.
This is never gonna end.
I'm eating chocolate chip cookie dough. The cookie dough.
22, you go. Operations from 1055. Do you have a location for a staging?
Trapped, calling 911 for help, and some of them being injured. LAFD confirms they have multiple burn patients who have been walking out of the hillsides, not even driving. They have been injured, burned, and then their only resource was to walk out of the hillside to Duke's Malibu, where now there is a rescue operation underway to try to treat these people and get out. We've been telling you all day there had been no injuries. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. Multiple people suffering burn injuries, and now a 25-year-old firefighter who sustained a serious head injury. She was taken to an area hospital where we don't have an update on on her condition, but the injury, as the fire department is describing it, is serious. I want to take you out to Pasadena now. This is the other fire we're talking about. This is the Eaton fire. Right now, the fire department says this has burned 400 acres. These are live pictures of a home burning in the Pasadena area. This has been going on throughout the night. Evacuations moments ago expanded mandatory to the city of Sierra Madre. We're continuing to follow those new evacuations. Back at the Palisades fire, evacuations have also been forced into the Calabasas area as well as into the city of Santa Monica. And again, new tonight at 10, multiple people suffering burn injuries. A source telling me they didn't evacuate, became entrapped by fire, and their only resource was to walk out of the hillside of Malibu down to PCH to Duke's Malibu, where they are now getting treatment by first responders.
You know, we
That's
certainly
like way
don't
out
like
of
to
the
hear
fire
about
window,
injuries,
dude.
but and we're wishing that firefighter well. And thank goodness Duke's Malibu was there and open to receive those people that waited until the last minute and walked out of the hill.
Let's go to the Crux. Dude, how's it now? That is it. That looks like that is the bottom of Tuna Canyon right there. I think that's the bottom of Tuna Canyon. All right, we got some. That is PCH and Tuna Canyon. Ah, come on, man. Where is this? Where is this? This looks like across the street from Will Rogers. Oh, see right there, that is the wall at the bottom of the Getty. Oh, that's the bottom of the Getty right there. And then you go up to Coastline up here, dude. That's where I figured it might have all. I knew a girl who lived right around the corner. Ah, come on, man. You got the. Nah, it's not over in West Channel, dude. Nah. Came down Temescal and burned to the beach. I think it's more in that sort of like area. I don't think it's over on that side of the Palisades. Look, it's sort of blowing like west. So it's not blowing down to the that part of the thing. Time-lapse fire stuff, dude. Crux. Look at that, dude. Oh, low battery. Dude. I gotta get my charger. There.
Talk about this. See?
You're right. We are seeing now the outbreak, and I'm running out of things to say.
I know.
I feel like I'm getting tired.
Are providing at this time. We have crews and people on the ground all up in the community working to get people out. But this is not a drill. This is an actual emergency.
Here, Dave.
All right, looks like we've got some earlier footage going on. Where are we? Yeah, burned around the Getty, dude. Getty's rad if you're ever there. The old Getty, the villa versus the modern Getty is way rad.
It's getting
hectic. I mean, look at those houses. They're just surrounded by like Roman candles. sketchy.
I know, my back's hurting too.
Super sketchy. Yikes. That's from earlier. Look at that. Gnarly. No, I'm 150 miles away.
Did you find
Yeah, Shelby's bathroom.
how much? Shake this. Don't walk over.
That's gnarly. That's like in there.
Kind of green, like a kitty.
Just say your prayers and hope that your home will be okay. We do know that we have all these resources available. Oh, is that bad?
Yep. It's making a run.
Oh, wow.
All right, so this one, that's crazy. You can't walk. All right, this isn't working for me either. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. I find where's the good KTLA? Where's KTLA got? They're all Pasadena. California burning. 5 hours ago, 2 hours ago. Palisades Fire Live. We'll give this channel a shot. I've seen all this on the Crux already, so we're gonna split from there. And bam, let's see. Is this actually like live? No, that's Altadena. Oh, people's houses going up. Bummer. As it got to Neptune's at wrong end of the mountain range there, Colby. I don't know. The insurance thing's going to get gnarly here in California, man. That's what everyone's. They changed the law where there's like a new law in California, or they did something where the insurance guys can just fully like plug you. I'm not interested in Altadena, dude. Let's go back to the Palisades. Altadena's not doing it for me. That sucks. Their house is going up though. Oh, good, man. What do we got here?
They have a plan in place, and if they do get the order, then evacuate early and quick.
There are some people that may have stayed behind who just look at this and now are scared to leave, or maybe they don't know where to go, or it's
get your hose.
All the flames are around them, or the fire trucks are nearby. It's not easy to get in and out of these regions. What do you say to those people?
Issues with
where to go, how to get out?
Prepare to see others just relocate out.
Well, there are law enforcement.
Yeah, the insurance thing's like the Achilles heel
spread throughout the entire area. So if they see someone, they can ask for assistance and direct them out. This is why we ask people not to stay behind. We know that there's the desire to do so. However,
if
these winds are unprecedented in our recent.
That's it.
You know, we haven't had winds like this in a very long time, and it's very dangerous. And it's not worth trying to protect a building when we want to protect your life.
Earlier, there was the call that was put out by your agency, LAFD, asking any off-duty member to call because you need all basically hands on deck. How are your resources tonight?
Yes, and I also do just want to clarify for anyone watching, there was a misunderstanding that kind of went out across different channels that this is a recall protocol for LAFD members only. We're not asking for volunteers or any other firefighters. So we have a recall process that we execute when needed. and those that are off duty call in, and we can then schedule out any additional resources. So that process is underway by our Department Operations Center, and we have the resources to manage that.
And talk also about the concern, because this is the fire that's burning now, but the winds are supposed to be worse, as you mentioned, and there's not an insignificant chance that there could be another fire that breaks out overnight.
Fire, dude.
It's entirely possible. We can't predict what might happen in that regard.
The Triage
we do also have the state agency, CAL FIRE, the incident management team, is going to be taking over the incident in the morning, and they are also the agency that coordinates resources from across the state to respond. So I don't have details on what the plan is right now, but they can call in resources from outside the region.
Any other parting thoughts before we let you go? No doubt you're busy.
Yeah, really, we just want to emphasize, our program Ready, Set, Go. Everyone needs to be ready. They need to have their bag prepared, have a communication plan in place, any important medications, stuff for your pets, have that already, because if you are in the expand, as it were to expand, especially towards the west and south, you need to already be prepared. So stay aware, and stay ready.
Margaret Stewart with LAFD, we thank you for taking the time out tonight. Thanks for all the hard work that your crews do, and you stay safe as well.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
We're going to go to Chelsea Edwards now, who is on the ground, who has been reporting for us near Pacific Coast Highway. Chelsea. Not sure if Chelsea can hear us. When she's ready, we will go back to her. In the meantime, we look at this live picture from our Santa Monica cam as this fire continues to get worse, and we really see those winds are whipping up. Let's go to Chelsea now. Chelsea.
They probably.
If you can hear us, we are now driving north on PCH. Wow, that is a fireball on the right-hand side. So the fire is now on both sides of PCH. Oh, there's another home up in flames on the right-hand side.
Really?
So it's on both sides, right near the intersection at Sunset Boulevard. We've kind of been in one place for a lot of this evening and a lot of this afternoon. But now we're mobile and we're heading toward Malibu. We're getting reports that there are some homes on the PCH side that are now up in flames. So that's where we're headed, toward the Topanga area. What we're seeing on PCH is just something else. I mean, these hillsides are just lit up. That's another one. Home after home after home after home. I can feel the heat coming from the side of the truck, from the right-hand side where we're sitting. Now we're enclosed in the truck. I can also feel the wind just knocking the truck. I mean, these news vans are very top-heavy. We've got the gear on the top, and they're very tall. And I can feel it just grabbing it and kind of tossing it around as we're driving up PCH. So the visibility extremely low. We can only see about 20 feet in front of us, I would say. As we're
reminding everyone to tip.
I don't know about this, Elliot. Very low visibility and a lot of particles in the air. And again, just this glow from all up the hillside. We're actually in an area now where the fire no longer seems to be burning, but the smoke is so incredibly thick we can barely see in front of us with our headlights on. So it appears that at least that portion of the fire of the Pacific Palisades fire is, in that area. But again, we're hearing these reports. There are some situations up in the Malibu area, closer toward Topanga. So that's where we're heading right now. We're hoping to be able to give you a live picture. Our camera has been up for the last 7 hours or so.
Everyone who's from that area saw this one coming. It's
all right, I think. I don't want to misreport here, but I believe this is, the iconic feed barn near Topanga Canyon. Yeah, that's gone. All right, so we've just passed Topanga Canyon. Wow, that whole thing is just the Malibu area, closer toward Topanga. So that's where we're heading right now. We're hoping to be able to give you a live picture. Our camera has been up for the last 7 hours or so, just feeding back live. Elliot, what is this? Is this a feed barn? All right, I think. I don't want to misreport here, but I believe this is, the iconic feed barn near Topanga Canyon. Yeah, that's That's gone.
Oh, that's
all right, so we've just passed Topanga Canyon. Wow, that whole thing is just flattened, which means that we're coming up toward the Real Inn and Cholada Tie. Now, on the left-hand side, it's just spot fires. This fire jumped the PCH and burned everything that's on this side. I'm not seeing any homes on the left-hand side, which is the PCH side yet. But wow, the destruction here. You know what? This is the Real Inn right here. It's gone. The Real Inn is gone. No. There's nothing there. Cholada Tie, gone.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
I saw those images actually a little earlier tonight. In fact, those are on my social media. The Real Inn, Cholada, all of that has been wiped out. That was at least 3 hours ago that those flames just wiped out those obviously landmark spots.
Chelsea, the devastation. I may have lost you, Marla and Alex.
No, you're there.
All right, we're coming up now to some fire activity. Oh, look, no, it is on this side. It is on the left side now. So we've got several fire engines here. This is a first, actually, for tonight. Yes, homes on the PCH side now are on fire. This is something we've not seen in a long time.
Wow. That's pretty wild.
Meaning on the side of PCH closer to the ocean.
Yes, to the ocean. So the ocean side of PCH, there's one actively on fire right now. I can see what's left of another one that's just to our left. We have a huge firefighting presence here. And again, we have not seen that, at least for property protection.
Wait, I found the Cholada stuff here. Wait, hold on. Here we go, dude. And here we go. So this looks like the Real Inn going up in flame. Yeah. Gnarly. The Real Inn. Damn. Wow. Dang, dude. That's kind of gnarly, dude. The Real Inn, dude. That's a bummer, man. Oh wow. Let's just rewind that. Damn. The Real Inn is gone. Dude. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, I do. Wow. Oh, man. Dude. Wow, that sucks. On the Real Inn, no more, dude. Whoa. Enchilada. I'm sure the Cholada thing's like, bummer, dude.
Since we started, at 2 o'clock this afternoon or 1:30 this afternoon, this is the first time we've actually seen a firefight where they're trying to protect these properties, these homes on the left hand, on the ocean side of PCH. So they've got an active firefight up ahead. Oh, there's more homes up there. This is quite a few homes now that are impacted on the PCH side. Wow. We're going to get a little bit closer. We're going to see how far they'll let us in with our news van without, impeding the firefighting efforts.
Wow, I got a buddy who lives right there.
To get these batteries working again to show you what we're seeing, because this is pretty remarkable. This is something else.
Yeah, and I wonder also if your phone is working, if maybe Zoom is potentially an option too. To get some images out of there.
Billionaires are just going to move to somewhere
but Chelsea, thanks for all your extraordinary reporting all day long, and but really sad updates there to hear about so many iconic spots along the coast that so many of us have enjoyed for years. And you think of all the people that are impacted by this, all the employees, all the customers, everybody. That we're going to be talking about this and dealing with this for many years to come. Chelsea, stay safe. We'll get back with you soon.
Let's see the footage, Chelsea, dude.
All right, our coverage continues here on Fox 11. The Palisades fire, of course, in the Palisades, and then the Eaton fire. That's the other fire that we're looking at tonight. That is in Altadena. Both are proving to be especially difficult firefights because of those destructive winds, which we knew were coming. We got wind of this. No pun intended, last week when Adam Kruger was forecasting that. In fact, Adam, why don't you join the coverage now and give us an update on as we're past 10 o'clock and those wind speeds are expected to pick up.
10 o'clock?
Yeah, you know, it's just, it's a little overwhelming, everything that's going on. I mean, you see just bad news after bad news. It's the unfortunate scenario we have. And yes, the winds have picked up in the last hour or so. You might remember going into this with the high wind warnings. The National Weather Service was saying at worst, there may be some isolated spots where gusts are as high as 80 to 100 miles per hour. That didn't quite pan out earlier in the day today, but we knew the strongest winds were coming. And now I see verification, at least on some of the higher elevation weather sensors. For example, there's one that's about halfway between Malibu and the Pacific Palisades, measured a 98 mile per hour gust about an hour ago. And we're seeing some gusts get over 90 miles per hour in the San Gabriel Mountains, a little bit north of Pasadena, where we have that other fire going on, the Eaton fire as well. So it's coming to fruition right now. The strongest winds are happening right now. They are peaking. They're expected to stay about this strong all through the night and up through about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then the speeds at least start slowly but surely backing down a little bit. Another thing that does not work in our favor heading into tomorrow is the air gets even a little bit drier tomorrow than what we're seeing today. And I do want to note that while we're focused a lot on where these fires are going on, there are extreme weather conditions happening all across Southern California right now. And even if you take the fire aspect out of this, it's a major wind event, just simply the winds. There's going to be a lot of wind damage likely across a lot of Southern California as well. I want to show you just real quickly some of these evacuation maps. I know it's kind of scrunched in right here, but this is the Pacific Palisades fire right here. Here's the evacuation order that extends into the northern parts of Santa Monica. San Vicente is kind of the border between the order, which is mandatory, and the evacuation warning, which is optional, but you know, you might want to get ready to go if you have to. That goes all the way down to Montana Avenue in Santa Monica. Fire.ca.gov if you want a closer look at some of these maps. I'll also show you near the Eaton fire what the evacuation map looks like. So Pasadena here is on the left part of the screen. The Rose Bowl is kind of tucked right on the edge right there, so we're a far distance from that. But again, here's the Eaton fire. A lot of that spreading south. You see the evacuation order, then a few of these evacuation warnings, which are suggested but not mandatory in those yellow spots right there. All right, now on to the forecast winds, and this is going to look a lot like what you've seen me show many times here throughout the day today. Not a whole lot has changed in the forecast, but we're in the thick of it right now. We're starting at 11 p.m., and you'll see just some big numbers across the map. Forecast wind gusts 60, 70 miles per hour. We know some of those higher elevations will be even a little bit stronger than that. Here we go all the way through the night into tomorrow morning. This is 4 o'clock in the morning now. Not a whole lot changes with our forecast. Here's 8 o'clock in the morning. We are still dealing with extremely strong winds. Even in LA, there could be some gusts around 50 or so. That could cause some damage for sure. Now, as we go a little later into the day, this is a look at noon. It's still very windy, but you see the numbers are not to the extreme levels that we expect during the nighttime. And then as we go through the day on Wednesday, here's a look at a little bit later in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon. We're seeing, again, slight improvement, but still quite windy. If you're wondering, by the way, kind of to get into the science of what's going on, why the winds are peaking right now and why they're expected to be at their strongest overnight, it has to do with what's going on a little higher up in the atmosphere. Something we call the jet stream. You may have heard that term before. It's basically like a river of fast-moving winds high up in the atmosphere where the planes are flying around. And the jet stream pattern, the winds kind of are going around this low right now, but right next to this low, right in this circle right here, if you look at these streamlines, you'll notice how they're moving especially quick right here. There's a very fast moving part of the jet stream that's going from north to south down California. These same conditions cause 135 mile per hour gusts at the summit of Mammoth Mountain, by the way. And so we've got those really strong winds right overhead right now in the higher parts of the atmosphere. And some of those winds are making their way down to the surface, which is giving us the extra boost, the extra enhancement to the wind gusts. Now, as we go through the night into tomorrow, this starts shifting a little farther south. This is noon tomorrow. By that point, the intense part of those jet stream winds will be a little farther south, and that's why our winds start backing down by that point. But high wind warnings, those are in effect until 6 p.m. tomorrow, so that gives you an idea of the worst of the winds continue into tomorrow. Again, the peak, though, should start to come down after about 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then we have the red flag warning. You know all about that. That's in effect through tomorrow, but also for a lot of the area, what we're looking at here, it continues into Thursday, excludes a portion of Los Angeles down to Long Beach, for example. And then Friday, there's a fire weather watch, which will likely change to a red flag warning at some point, which means this will have been 4 days of red flag warnings. Even though the winds are most intense tonight into tomorrow morning, it's still a Santa Ana wind event with gusty conditions in some spots and dry conditions. That goes all the way into Friday. So our guard needs to stay up for a couple more days, but especially tonight and into tomorrow with the strongest winds here in our area and the lowest humidity still yet to come tomorrow. And again, you know, just in the last hour, we've seen some of the strongest wind gusts so far today. And we know today earlier was quite bad. It's just getting even more extreme right now. The live shots we see from our reporters, hats off to them and the crews that are out there. It is incredible to see. And you can hear from the way they're telling the stories, right? I mean, a lot of them have been reporting in this area for a long time. They're saying that, I mean, they've never been in anything like this. This is just a historic wind event that's unfolding right now across our area. Guys, back to you.
All right, come on.
All right. Thank you so much, Adam. We want to get you the latest information about the injuries that we can now report. Unfortunately, we do know that a 25-year-old female firefighter with LAFD was hurt tonight while battling the Palisades fire. Here's that image of her being loaded on to the bed of a truck here. This happened near Bowdoin Street and Via de la Paz. She sustained, according to LAFD spokesperson Eric Scott, a serious head injury. She was treated at the scene and she was taken to a hospital for more evaluation and treatment. We spoke to the person who shot this video, freelance journalist Sal Hirsch with TNLA.
What we got?
And I'm not exactly sure what agency that firefighter was with, but they put out a Mayday call. Apparently, she may have had some sort of blow to the head, and she was in unknown condition. So we were just right down the street filming some of the destruction that ensued prior to that incident, and we got there pretty quick, and we saw.
Let's see the rescue. Let's see, where's the rescue?
People are coming out of the hillside that didn't evacuate and ending up at Duke's Malibu with burns all over them. LAFD confirms they've had multiple burn patients show up there at Duke's Malibu that they're now trying
from the fire, and it's so hard to breathe, and it's so hard to see.
What is that?
I can't even describe it, guys. It's just
that's like an apartment building, man.
You guys, you can probably see all those embers blowing out of the building, and they are blowing across the street into the buildings, and you have to worry about the attics,
down in the OC,
and the other buildings that could be affected by all of this debris and these embers that are blowing. We have these jackets on. You've probably seen a lot of us wearing these yellow jackets. They look like fire jackets. They are. The reason why we have them is so if when the embers do hit us, there's a chemical on these jackets that protects us, but that doesn't help when it hits the back of your neck.
No, it doesn't. So,
but
you're supposed to have your
the scope of this is just so
dude.
Intense. We're also not far from where Palisades High School is. And that also was burning. We don't know the extent of it.
That's crazy.
We don't know how much was
burned.
On
fire, man.
And that's someone driving through, perhaps someone who decided to evacuate way later than they should have. We don't see a lot of civilian traffic right now. These are all closed roads. And you can hear part of the building, pieces of the building collapsing there. But so we're not far from Palisades
Real
High
windy
School.
And low humidity. They'll
parts of that burn. We
Newsom
don't know
will blame it on climate change, though, dude.
This is also the same area where a number of people were trying to flee from their cars earlier today, and they had to abandon them. And then a bulldozer had to come through later, and push them off to the side of the road. We also.
All right, we're gonna fast forward this.
Eaton fire burning damage. So we're going to talk about Rogers now on the desk.
Here we go. Put that out, dude.
And you can hear as they kind of run back to their truck there and get back to their crews. Again, Jonathan Vigliotti with the CBS News crew up there earlier today getting caught in that fire. So the fire continues to burn. We're still dealing with situations like that, you guys. And it's just been really a rough day for everybody. And it's not gotten any better, unfortunately, as we continue to look at
wishing you had a cactus garden right about now.
Right about that, Mike. And good time, obviously, to tell people if you still have power.
I think I know who lives in that house.
So you can possibly get information. We've had so many reports of internet outages in so many areas. A vast amount of people are without power. We know that, but also their internet service is down. So you have an opportunity to charge your phone. There are going to be a number of school closures tomorrow.
School closures.
Blowing ember. This home burning, and those are homes right here. This wind is kind of blowing in all directions. Right now, you see these embers going to the south of us here, but it's also blowing to the west and the east. We also have this condo complex that caught fire because embers from the home behind us were blowing in the wind across the
coverage I was looking for. Now, is it?
We're seeing firefighters do have hose line pulled out in these neighborhoods, but they can't really do anything because the wind.
I'm getting confused. Where am I at, dude? The hose isn't going to do anything about that. So in case you were curious, I had to fix this. What do we got going on here? What is this? Or are we just getting rumbling? I like this coverage is not working for me. Where's the I wanted the girl who was going to go film on the side of the PCH, dude. Where is she? It was Fox was the one that was the good one. No. We're just getting like, I'm trying to find us a new. We're these guys again. We've seen all this. We might have reached the end of the fire coverage. What do we got, dude? It's all the eating stuff. All right, let's see. Sure. What do we got here?
Wildfire camera, Foothill and Yarnell Boulevard. CHP is on scene. Fire department is on scene as well. Another very not good situation for where this fire has started, guys.
Wow. All right, Tom.
All right,
we've got so much to talk about tonight, and that was just new reporting from Mike Rogers. But, we're going to go back to that the Palisades Malibu fire where we've been watching Tom Waite all night long.
Tom Waite is there, dude.
Different spots there, and they all seem to be just as bad.
Yeah, Tom, what is the situation now? Has it gotten worse?
Gosh, you guys, it's
Where
just
are we,
bad.
Tom?
I mean, it's just sustained bad, awful. I don't even know. Those are the words right now. It's a really ugly situation. We're on Temescal Canyon right now.
All right, we've had
just between
NBC4
Sunset and PCH. And from where we're standing, it looks like that's a home burning just in the distance there at the top of the hill. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like from where I'm standing. But really, as we turn more, Greg, to the side of the road here to Temescal Canyon, I mean, that's where it's pretty clear there's at least one structure up there burning and possibly more. It's just fire everywhere, and it's the winds are just unrelenting. We were just live a few minutes ago on that apartment fire, and I had even with goggles I had so much soot in my eyes. I went back to the truck and flushed out, grabbed a water bottle just to get all that stuff out of my eyes. I can only imagine what firefighters are dealing with. They are just taking the brunt of all of this and just, walking directly into these dangerous situations and battling these fires And I really don't, in my 11 years here at KCBS KCAL, I cannot remember a situation like this where there's just no let up. It just
so many directions. And just like these cars here, again, we are so far from figuring out where we need to go, what direction we need to go, and where we need to end up when it comes to trying to get a handle on this fire. Containment, I will tell you, must be next to impossible. That continues to burn here. So many structures here on the west side of Los Angeles.
Getting frustrated, dude. Can't find any good coverage, dude. It seems to with this. Come on. What do we got? Oh, this is the PCH.
Kind of sharing their walls. But look at that one that's just fully engulfed at the end there. And we're seeing these fire.
132 North Euclid Avenue also
reporting happened. Seen that in other homes.
And then as we've been moving from place to place,
just the chaos out there. There was a SWAT team from Pasadena police that actually loaded a bunch of these patients.
We've seen all this. All right, here we go. Right.
She was driving along PCH where the flames have jumped over to the ocean side,
Here
and
we
you're
go.
literally seeing homes ocean side burning. Chelsea?
Why is it? Why do you assume it's arson,
that
dude?
we can see right now from where we are. We're the 18,000 block of PCH. Look at what we can see from inside this.
Oh, my boy's pad is like right there,
homes,
dude.
They're all obviously they're packed together here on PCH, as you know. They're right next to each other. A lot of them kind of sharing their walls. But look at that one that's just fully engulfed at the end there. And we're seeing these firefighter efforts. See that hose that they've thrown on? They're trying to put these out. I mean, this is the first actual firefighting effort
So
that
it's
we
not
have
arson.
seen
I don't know,
so far
dude.
today. Everywhere that we have been. I mean,
Why assume things?
This is the first time that
Oh,
we've
that's
seen them
Matt's
trying to save
house.
properties.
Gnarly.
Some of these homes though are just a total loss.
No
Elliot, can you show the one that's right
way.
across from where we're parked? This one, for example, look at this. So this was obviously a full home at one point. Look, there's nothing left. You can see straight through to the ocean now. I mean, the ferociousness of these flames is just something to behold. Oh, did you see the flames pop up over that house right there, Elliot? So now just across from us, again, this is only 18,000 block of PCH. This is on the beach side of PCH. Looks like something is burning on the beach side of that home. So that indicates, at least to me, that these have to be produced by embers. I mean, if homes are lighting on this side of the PCH, this has to be driven by embers. And then, of course, because the proximity of these homes are so close together, they just spread from house to house. We're also seeing a home right there, the kind of pink one. I can see better now that they've got a light on it. The authorities have a light on it, but it looks like the garage is burnt out. It looks like it's kind of leaning out toward PCH. That's right behind where they've got that hose going, where they're trying to save this one property right next to it. But from what we can tell, at least 5 homes here, total losses here in the 18,000 block of PCH. Firefighters here trying to do what they can to save the homes that are remaining. It looks like they've moved on from the home that's actively engulfed down at the end of our vantage point right here.
Real.
Looks like they're not even trying for that one, kind of as to what the fire official that we spoke to earlier tonight, who said it's kind of like triage. I mean, you just have to move from home to home, and if you know one is going to be a total loss, we don't waste our time trying to save it. I mean, we have to move on to other things. So that's what it appears is happening here. They've moved on from the shells of these homes that are engulfed and are now trying to save these homes in the middle. But the homes to the left of all of this are gone. There's nothing blocking our view now from here to the ocean. And so it looks like they're trying to save these standing homes in the middle. But again, we're seeing flames now on the beach side.
I'm pretty sure that's my buddy's house.
Which is not a good sign. That indicates that they are, actively on fire as well. So this is just something else. These are very nice homes, very expensive homes. PCH. I've never seen anything like this before, Phillips and Marla.
No, and some bad news to share, because we've been warning about the possibility of another fire. And we want to let you know about a new fire, which we've just found out about, which is called the Silmar fire. So we're watching the Eaton fire in Pasadena. We're watching the Pacific Palisades fire, but there is now a fire in Silmar that the LA Fire Department says is at least 50 acres, rapid rate of spread. There's an evacuation orders in place north of the 210 freeway from Roxford to the Interstate 514 freeway split. So that is the Silmar fire, at least the third major fire we are dealing with tonight. We'll try to get you some pictures of that, more information on that. In the meantime, we go back to Altadena, where Gene Silva is looking at the Eaton fire and just destruction underway right now.
Could I ask you a few questions?
All right. We'll wait till that passes, dude. Hectic, man. Oh, I have this on twice, dude. That's what's going on, dude. All right. One's closer to the end than the other, dude. Now I know I couldn't find that. All right, let's go. I know where we are now. Let's see what we got here, dude. We've limited our thing.
Friend of mine, he's a city leader here in Malibu, and I just said, I'm sorry about what's happening here. We have seen an unbelievable amount of damage in Malibu tonight. In fact, just a little while ago, I actually texted a friend of mine. He's a city leader here in Malibu. And I just said, I'm sorry about what's happening here, because we had just driven down PCH, seeing how much was damaged. In fact, I want to get right to that video that I took just about an hour ago as I was coming down PCH from Duke's Restaurant in Malibu, which is at Las Flores Canyon. And it was house after house after house, building after building after building just burned. Those are the beachside homes. On the other side of PCH,
all of those
lots of
places.
businesses also burned. People have been in the area familiar with, the Real Inn. That is gone. The 7-Eleven right near there, that is gone. The Rosenthal wine patio, that is gone. That has been burned.
No way, that is down by, dude, that is down by Big Rock. Wait a minute. Whoa, dude. All down in there? Holy shit. That's crazy, dude. It went
I want to get right to that video that I took just about an hour ago as I was coming down PCH from Duke's Restaurant in Malibu, which is at Las Flores Canyon. And it was house after house after house, building after building after building, just burned. Those are the beachside homes. On the other side of PCH, lots of business.
Big Rock, I think. Darn, man, that is nuts. Oh, that is Big Rock. Holy shit.
People have been in the area.
It burned all those. Wow. What?
Familiar with, the Real Inn. That is gone. The 7-Eleven right near there, that is gone.
Dude.
The Rosenthal wine patio,
Holy
that
shit.
is gone. That has been burned to the ground. I mean, it's just, I couldn't believe my eyes as we were driving down PCH. We couldn't get up to Duke's, where we understood that there were some people who had been hurt and burned, and they were walking down to Duke's. We could not get to Duke's because the fire was so intense on both sides of the road. It wasn't safe for us to continue going, so we turned around. And, again, the extent of the damage in Malibu is really remarkable. We are here on PCH. If you want to come back to me live on we're at Puerto Marino and PCH. And behind us up in the hill there, you can see there is a fire that is burning a home there. There's at least 2 other houses up on the streets above this is an advertising agency. I looked on Google Maps and it says it's called the Many. It's an advertising agency. That building is okay, but behind it are street after street after street of houses, and just from where we're standing, we can see 1, 2, 3 at least
Here,
that
we'll
are
pause
burning.
this so you guys can get.
If I look to the left, I see 4 or 5. So these firefighters are just down here. They're going to try and protect this building.
Here, dude, you guys got to check this out. I'm going to switch over to the Cal Fire. So everything on this map, let me make sure it's all queued up. I'm going to put the fire on the edge on the one side of the screen, and it burned all the way up the highway. Whoa, dude, it burned all the way up the thing. See where it says California Coastal National Monument? That's Big Rock. That's where they were driving through the intersection. It burned that miles of houses along the PCH there. That is crazy, dude. Way up there, dude. And you can see the tail where the fire is. That's basically where the one girl where I was going, my buddy Matt lives there, all the way down to Big Rock. Holy shit, man. That is nuts, dude. Whoa. There's a lot of houses along there. Oh, man. Dude. Breaking news. That is crazy.
Building should that fire come down, but that will just give you an idea of how much they're dealing with, because all up and down PCH,
this is the
neighborhood
craziest
after neighborhood,
fire I think
yet. Burning, and in some of those cases, we did not see any engines or firefighters because they really are having to choose
all that's so
to
densely packed up behind this place where they're filming right there.
Beyond saving. That's how critical and how dynamic this situation is at this point. The wind continues to blow at a very strong clip. Wow. You know, just about 45 minutes ago when we tried to go live, a tree erupted in flames very quickly and put us in a lot of danger right at the moment. So we had to skedaddle out of there just for our own safety. But the situation continues to evolve. And not in a good way. You know, Tom was talking about how perhaps tomorrow we'll begin to tally the damage. And I don't even want to begin to do that because it is going to be so much that we have lost. You know, Malibu, frankly, Malibu is burning that tonight. It is burning, guys.
Yeah, we have friends. I'm going to call him by name. Former colleague David Goldstein. He's also a very, very good friend. I believe he and his wife did get out. I know they were prepared to go, and that's it. You know, after having gone through such devastation just a short time ago, a lot of people were paying attention and were able to get out, or they, you know, went when they were supposed to. However, Susie, we have seen talked about some incidents tonight, particularly those people at Duke's Malibu who thought that they could ride it out, I guess. And unfortunately,
that is Duke's Malibu
injured,
right there.
Hopefully not seriously, but we do know one firefighter had to go to the hospital.
That's right. Meteorologist Danny Roberti is standing by once again. And Danny, you said the 10 o'clock hour, we would start the peak of the wind event. Yeah. We are in the thick of it right now.
Yeah, we are. We are, Susie and Pat. That's what we're seeing right now. Our strongest winds really focused right now until tomorrow morning. So we are in the heart of this event, and we are just continuing to see these relentless winds. It continues, and they are widespread. We've mainly seen gusts between 40 to 80 miles per hour. Actually, 50 to 80 miles per hour is what most areas are focused on. So you can see the strongest winds right now. We've got it through Burbank into Santa Clarita. Now, keep in mind, we're going to see these winds strengthening over the next couple hours until around dawn tomorrow morning. It's strong through the Inland Empire, but it's not as strong as what we're seeing through LA County, through Malibu, through the Santa Monica Mountains, areas where the Palisades fire is burning right now. I want to zoom you in on that area. Look at those purples that you're seeing on your map. This is where we are seeing our strongest wind gusts right now. Wow, Burbank has gusts nearing 60 miles per hour. Man. So the San Fernando Valley, big focus for this. And then you can see that through Malibu. These winds, yes, they are coming out of the northeast. They're pushing towards the southwest. But what happens within some of these fires, I know Tom and Lori have been talking about it, is that it almost almost feels like, Nicole, the winds are shifting when they're in the midst of it. Sometimes these fires, they create weather of their own within that fire. So that's something that we see as well. So let's take a look at our hourly wind gusts. This is going to give you a good idea of what we're going to see tonight going into early tomorrow morning. The focus is midnight to around 10 o'clock in the morning. Look at Santa Clarita, gusts between 50 to 60 miles per hour. I know this is cut off just a little bit, but you've got Los Angeles and Long Beach included in that. And then you're also seeing Lancaster, Ontario, and Glendale with gusts between 40 to 60 miles per hour tonight into tomorrow morning. So what we're watching for, strongest winds right now through 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. Something else that we could see going into tonight, and this is when we could see some of those stronger winds, it's these mountain waves, which we do not normally see. This is very rare for us. The last time we saw something like this, it was back in 2011 in Pasadena when we saw 1,200 trees that were downed with 80-mile-per-hour winds. What happens, we've got these 100-mile-per-hour gusts.
Let's see it go switch out. This is crazy. You have to understand, this is burned up the PCH. That is wild.
Light up on fire. So there's the villages looking straight down now. But the glow back there, I'll get out of the way so you can see better, but the glow is really some of the homes on the back side of it. They are burning. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I saw the firefighters pass.
The palm trees are swaying. It reminds me covering some of the tropical storms and the hurricanes when I worked down in Florida years ago. It's that type of situation. The truck swings back and forth when you get these very strong gusts. Almost, as one of the witnesses was saying a few minutes ago, it feels like an earthquake, only here it's no earthquake. It's just, look at all these embers blowing over this way. There you go. They're blowing down Swarthmore. That is right through the right through the quarter there of the Rick Caruso development that they put together over here right off Sunset. Decorated for Christmas just a week or so ago. Now it's all dark. Still no, the power shut off. All the smoke detectors. You hear all the beeping going off there. No flames in that area. The street behind that, I must tell you, some multi-million-dollar homes. And the last check, several of those were up in flames as well. So the fire roaring here is moving, as you can see with these flames and the wind and the embers. It's really blowing now to the west and also moving it toward the ocean itself, toward PCH. And as it does, though, there are still many buildings in the residential area, but also in the main business area here of the village itself that are burning, and that is one of them right over here. It's less than a block away from Gelson's, CVS Pharmacy, and that high-end clothing store roaring out. There's another store right next to it that's right now looks like it's going to go, and it's an ember storm here. These lit embers. Firefighters were here a little while ago, maybe about 12 of them actually, with their engines. They moved a few blocks down to try to take care of some homes that were being threatened by flames. They're just moving from one location to another. Not much they can do. Everybody's just trying.
I can't believe it.
Probably just praying this night ends very quickly.
Just to be clear, so the villages, which is Caruso's property, is that actually what we're looking at burning right now, or is that the villages on the side? So what? Okay.
Yeah, the villages are actually that is on the south side, the fire itself. You cross Sunset, that's the north side. We just panned over, and this is right on the corner here where there's a U.S. Bank building. It's now you can't see it; it's covered in smoke. Right on the corner is the beginning of the villages that goes up Swarthmore, the main entrance of the Caruso development. That is not burning. We have not seen any flames, but on the other side of that, we did see.
This is going to be the one, the gnarly
some
one.
of the homes. We're going to drive up to give you a better look right down Swarthmore. Right down the villages. We'll creep up here. Just stay with us here a second as we move up. We'll give you an idea. I know there's some homes on the backside. Some of the larger homes, they were burning. You could see the glow in the sky, the smoke. But let's see as we come up just a little further. This has actually been like a wind tunnel here, blowing all those embers. As they blow them in this direction, they blow across Sunset to the south side. And that, unfortunately, is where we've had the that clothing store light up on fire. So there's the villages looking straight down now. But the glow back there, I'll get out of the way so you can see better, but the glow is really some of the homes on the back side of it. They are burning. They're burning. That none of it threatened to the villages themselves, but several homes back there are burning, and there's just no way to stop it at this point with these winds that are blowing certainly out of control.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that is just one of the most beautiful, picturesque areas, not only in Southern California, but in the entire country.
Yeah, I can't believe it burned up.
Those are like perfect streets. That, to me, is like one of the ideal places to live. It is a close-knit community. And it is just heartbreaking to see so many flames. Look at that. Oh no. And just awful.
I mean, if they're letting just
that
downtown
and to see
Palisades
so
burn,
many
that means they're
images
busy
like
other
that. And Marla,
places,
I just
John.
can't think about how many different places are being impacted by this in so many different areas, and how our Southern California community is going to be impacted by this for years to come.
I have to say,
try to rebuild from all of this. I mean, on any night, if we were covering one fire that had one or two buildings down, that would be a huge story for us. And the fact that we are now covering at least 3.
It's going to blow the
2 of which have been really destructive, and a third that has potential to be, is just, unlike any night that I can remember in 15 years of news coverage here in Southern California. We've had big fires before, we've had destructive fires, but to have this much happening at the same time is pretty rare.
It's apocalyptic. The Palisades fire especially, obviously the more damaging one at this point. We've seen the loss of businesses. Ed was just showing us that. We've seen the loss of homes. We've seen the loss of schools. This is, and you talk about the tight-knit community that Palisades is. It's a small community of just about 23,000 population. The high school's gone. Elementary school's gone. We're hearing now businesses along the PCH have been devoured by those flames, from Malibu to Pacific Palisades, of course. Those flames jumping the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway. And here's a look into Caruso's Village here. You see, the Lululemon, and so far
not the Lululemon.
This has been spared, but all it takes is one of those embers. And those embers are everywhere, because across the street, that's a business, I think that Ed was saying, that's a clothing store that is now gone. And look at the flags. I mean, just to give you an idea of those sustained winds, they are whipping, and they will only get worse. I hate to say that, but that is the reality. Just look at those flags. We know overnight the sustained winds could get up to 70 miles per hour. That's forecasted. Adam Kruger has been watching those numbers for us. It is such a devastating scene out there. The best thing that we can report is so far no loss of life, and that's the whole point. They want to save lives before they save structures. Nonetheless, this doesn't make this any less heartbreaking, Alex.
Ed, can you tell, is that clothing store, is that the Elise Walker clothing store that is across the street? I don't know if you can see it from where you are, or even can tell.
Yeah, it may be. I can't really see, but I know it is the one right on the corner, right on the back side of the Starbucks that is over there on Swarthmore. So I believe that it is. I know it's usually the type store. There's always many times a line of shoppers that get inside. They usually have a guard out front, and it's a very high-end store. Beautiful clothing. A lot of folks come out of there buying stuff looking very pretty. They had some of the best fashions in there, I'm told, and now it's just quickly burning up. But look at how the flames are being whipped by these winds that are blowing down through, swinging down from the north over to the west.
Yeah, Elise is a personal friend of mine, and somebody who started her business there and has several stores in different parts of the state and the country, and is beloved in that community, and has worked so hard to build a brand that is really become iconic for that community. And to see if that is indeed that store going up in flames is just heartbreaking. And I've been in there and know a lot of the people that work there, and it's really, really upsetting to watch that. And that sentiment is, something that is repeated in different businesses and different homes
I'll tell you
Southern
what,
California tonight.
Those places in Malibu.
I'm sorry that you're having to deal with that personally. So many personal stories out there that we've been reporting on all afternoon. We've been on the air since this broke out at 10:30 this morning, so well over 12 hours. Alex and I have been in place basically since 2:30 this afternoon, commercial free, and the Palisades fire continues just just to wreak havoc in this small, tight-knit community. So far, the Caruso Village looks to be spared, but as I'm saying that on the right side of your screen, that is part of it, and I see some flames erupting. I'm not sure if that is actually the Caruso Village. It was off to the right or not. We'll have to wait and see.
Rick Caruso just
Marla, that actually is not, but what we are seeing is some of the flames from that clothing store across of Sunset is reflecting in some of the windows of the businesses here at the village. But as I look down Swarthmore, the village itself is not burning. The shops are not burning here, but a block over, you can see the glow and the flames, especially over there. Look at that, Mikey. That is a half a block over on the back side of the village. And look at that flame, the wall of fire roaring through. I know many of there were apartment buildings in there and condos that have been there for decades, maybe 2 or 3 stories that line that street, and they are just going up in flames as we speak.
Rick Caruso is watching our coverage and just texted me, and he's frustrated that he's not seeing water in the hydrants in the Palisades, which has made it difficult to fight this fire. Essentially, there's nothing they can do if they don't have any water, and you don't see a lot of firefighters there. So far, he's been lucky, but we've seen similar complaints from other parts of Pacific Palisades in certain areas where they essentially just ran out of water, and then the firefighters had to leave. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that. Hopefully that problem can be fixed and this property can be spared. But I know that he's not the only one that has been asking questions about that. And Mr. Caruso, we hope your property is okay tonight. Just devastating, I'm sure, and anxious everybody watching this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did pose that question earlier to LAFD about resources in terms of personnel and also water resources, and it didn't seem to be a problem. But of course, we're hearing from people that tell a different story. So we'll have to follow up there. This is our crew. This is a live picture from Ed Lascos and his photographer, who is tonight
Mike Armijo.
Mike Armijo. I apologize, Mike. Of course, it's Mike behind the wheel, taking us through really the heart of the village here in Pacific Palisades. Another business that is engulfed in flames tonight. We've seen this time and time again, not just businesses, we've seen it with schools. Palisades Charter High on fire, the Palisades Elementary School on fire as well.
And let's talk about the third fire that is now burning in Southern California, the Silmar fire. This is our first look at that. This is some video coming in from the Citizen app, and you get a sense for the first time we've seen of the images of what it looks like in Silmar right now. And you also get a sense of how close this fire is burning to the freeway, which is why the evacuation zone for this goes north of the 210 freeway from Roxford to the Interstate 514 split. And you think about that area, all the homes and the businesses that are in that particular area going all the way to the freeway. And so that is an area of concern tonight as well. Now we're back in the west side of Los Angeles looking at the Palisades fire, which is well over 3,000 acres burned, and no end in sight. And we are in the midst of some of the worst winds right now. And Marla, with a lot of this, it basically, like, there's not a lot that firefighters can do.
No, they've told us, as we've reported, that they triage the situation. It's like trying to fight a tornado. How do you do that? When a tornado's on fire, you let it basically explode, and then you have to just go back and do what you can in the post-fire fight. So it's one of those situations with these devastating winds. And this was deemed by the National Weather Service a rare event. They call it a PDS event, which is a particularly dangerous situation. Those are very rare.
PDS,
and that's what this is deemed as. And so we've dealt with this,
wow,
ironically,
I can't believe it burned all the way up to
2 more times in the last few months.
That's
so 3, I believe it's 3 times in 3 months, because we had, beginning in November, we had the mountain fire in Ventura County. That was devastating, almost 20,000 acres and almost 250 structures destroyed. And then December 9th, the Franklin fire adjacent to the Palisades, that one broke out. That wasn't as devastating. We were on the air with that until the wee hours of the morning. 20 structures destroyed. And here we are on January the 7th into the new year. What a way to start the new year in the Palisades.
Yes, indeed. And by the way, if you're wondering where is LA Mayor Karen Bass, she's been in Ghana. So she's apparently on her way back. That's why we have not seen her on the scene. We saw Governor Newsom at the scene earlier. We know that President Biden happens to be in town, but we have not seen him on camera with all of this. So we expect to hear more from officials at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. In the meantime, a whole lot could happen between now and then. And we are going to stay on the air for at least the next hour, continuing our coverage. Usually this is the time of night where we transition over to our show called Good Night LA. Tonight is not a good night in LA, and we are just going to be continuing our coverage for Fox 11 Los Angeles. This is one of the worst nights that we have seen in a long time. So as we approach the top of the hour and the end of this hour, we're going to do a bit of a reset, and people can get
we don't need it. Reset with you. We'll switch out coverage and let's see, what do we got going on here?
In a backyard a minute ago with some fire crews that were trying to put a fence out on fire. You see somebody else running around right there. This is a dangerous situation. It has already burned 100 acres. That's according to the CAL FIRE mapping system. And again, this is called the Hearst fire. Evacuations north of the 210 between Oxford and the 514 split. We're going to continue to monitor this fire, you guys, but this is just the latest of what we're dealing with here in Southern California tonight.
All right, thanks so much for that, Mike. I know we're going to go back and talk about the Palisades fire in just a moment. Before we do that, I just want to add that we have a call that the Palisades Village, that beautiful shopping center, has suffered damage. In fact, there is a store in particular there that is engulfed by flames. That's at 15
Instagram sometimes is the best source of.
Okay, and we've been talking about fire, Susie, burning also in the Altadena area in the Eaton Canyon fire. That's what we're calling it.
That's right. And our Nicole Comstock is live in front of a home burning in Pasadena right now. Nicole?
That she is.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. You guys can see the wind still continuing to intensify out here. And this is one of a handful of homes in this neighborhood off Del Rey at the cross street of Woodland in Pasadena that has been destroyed by this fire. The home just to the right of it is also now on fire, at least the roof of it is. And there are others across the street that have already gone down. There's a condo complex across the street we'll show you in a couple of minutes here, or we can show you right now that thing's on fire too right now. At least 2 of the buildings over there are fully engulfed in flames. And all of this, keep in mind, we're a mile away from Eaton Canyon, that 190-acre natural preserve area where this fire started. So all of this is spot fires. That's all the embers being cast in these extremely powerful winds a mile away, and then catching maybe just one little ember getting into an eave under the roof of a house. That's all it takes to light one of these things up. Firefighters are out here doing what they can to save some of the homes that are being so aggressively and immediately threatened by this fire. This home right here, I just saw firefighters actually go inside. Looks like they maybe kicked open or just opened a back door to maybe try to vent it out. And these people have fire all in their backyard and in trees in the backyard right now. And firefighters are back here with a hose line pulled out, trying to put out the vegetation so it doesn't spread to this home. So hopefully they will be able to keep this home intact here. It's just such a heartbreaking scene, because just a couple of minutes ago, there was a gentleman standing right here, actually, in this front yard. And he's looking directly across the street here, and he's sobbing on the phone and telling someone, that's our house. Our house is gone. It's gone. And how do you console someone in a moment like that when they come out to their neighborhood and the place they've lived in for how many ever years is totally destroyed? And you wouldn't necessarily think being a mile away from, an area with hiking trails and hills and steep terrain that you would have to worry about a fire like this, because you have a lot of like concrete around you. So you would think you would have a natural fire break. But we've been hearing for at least the past day now how catastrophic these winds could be, and how we hadn't really seen a windstorm like this in the San Gabriel Valley in about 15 years. So the force of these winds alone is enough to just carry any little fire that starts into neighborhoods. And this is a really sad example of how
crazy.
Those embers,
that whole area where this
Ana
burned down in Malibu
can really just destroy a neighborhood. Now, thankfully, there are lots of homes down here that are looking good.
I think it's now.
We have fire crews posted up here,
along the PCH,
and hopefully this home will be okay here too. Again, this is on Del Rey, on the southwest side of the street, about 2 houses down from the corner of Woodland. So it looks like they have a good handle on the backyard here. They are trying to do everything they can to protect the homes that they think might be at risk of going up next. But
good coverage.
You got these wind gusts and a 400-acre, if not larger, fire burning just a mile away. You're still dealing with these embers flying all over the place, you guys. Tons of evacuations out here tonight. The last I heard from the Angeles National Forest, I think they said they were even evacuating people in Sierra Madre, south of Sierra Madre to the 210, and all the way from Lake to Santa Anita. So that's absolutely crazy. Like, this fire is moving to the east, and if it's getting towards Sierra Madre, that's really scary, because you got a lot of people way up in the hills there that have cute little cabins really tightly packed in, and that could be scary for them trying to get down these really narrow mountain roads if they have fire like this blowing at them.
And you know what, you said it, Nicole, about the only thing you can say to people who are so devastated by knowing that their home has burned down, even not knowing, is
the area
that they are able to
gone.
Look in the face of a loved one and have both of them there together.
Right there,
you know, saying, okay,
we're here.
But we're yes. I mean, I know that is you know, that could be not enough comfort, obviously, and losing home and your belongings. But if that has some little bit of solace, then hopefully that's something we can hold on to. Look at that. Is that a tree?
Looks like a tree stump.
Right?
Yeah, and this is just a tree stump in front of someone's house. These are all these little embers that are catching like a lot of, you know, tree stumps and bushes in people's front lawns.
News coverage.
And in people's homes.
This is how it kind of carries down the street in the wind.
And you know what?
The homes too.
Yeah,
I've
heard firefighters say that those embers.
That's it.
A remarkable number of crews, but not nearly enough for what is going on. There is so much wind. There are so many fires. Back here where we are on PCH at Puerto Marina, this neighborhood behind us is just one of so many here in Malibu that has multiple homes burning. And there are fire crews positioned just below this neighborhood at this point, trying to protect the building down here on PCH. But, you know, they can't even go up into those neighborhoods anymore. I mean, they just have so much on their plate, so much to handle, that they're having to make very difficult and delicate decisions about where they place their resources and what to save and what they can save at this point. You know, you said it was unreal, and that is absolutely the word for it. I've been covering a lot of fires in my time, and this one is just shocking to me, the extent of the damage and how quickly it escalated. When we first got here at about 4:30, we were looking at you know, these coastal homes, these coastal neighborhoods, and we could see a house here, a house there that was burning and certainly threatening the other houses around them. And then within a matter of hours, an hour, 2 hours, 3/4 of the neighborhoods were gone. I mean, it's just really difficult to get your head around, because these are areas that we have covered and been up and down so often, and to now see just empty spaces where those buildings and houses were is really something. You know, for people who are familiar with Malibu, the Rosenthal wine patio, that's gone. The Real Inn, that's gone. The you know, the Oasis Center, which is a place that sells like outdoor furniture and plants and statues and such. It's really an iconic place here on PCH. Gone. The 7-Eleven there is gone. I mean, it's just you just look around and you can't imagine, you can't believe it. It's really, really something. And I give it to these firefighters because, you know, they've been out here and doing such difficult, such dangerous work and such heroic work. And we are a long way from over, and they have a very, very long fight ahead of them, and so many fights. Wow. That's what's so
I have to say,
stunning about this is just they have so much to fight tonight, guys.
They do, Lori. And, you know, you talk about businesses and homes that are gone. We're really going to get the true gist of just what that area is going to look like in the break of day.
I mean, this is just a snapshot. What we're showing our viewers tonight, what Lori is showing us, what our Tom Waite was showing us, what our Nicole Comstock was showing us in these neighborhoods, just a snapshot of what we're going to be seeing tomorrow at daybreak.
You know, what's been pretty pleasant right now, Lori, is we haven't seen you scrambling to get out of the way in this particular live shot. You have moved several times this evening because you've had to for your own safety.
That's absolutely right. You know, we were trying to get further up on PCH, you know, and we're seasoned journalists here, so we know how to push the boundaries a little, you know, within a safe discretion. And at one point we just said, no, absolutely not. We got to turn around because it was just way too intense. The flames were all around us on either side. They came right up to our windows of our news van. And it was just, it was terrifying. So we had to get out of there. And, you know, and several times we have been in situations where there have been just so many embers coming around us, you know, and it only takes one really to start a fire, you know, it could catch our hair, our clothes, you know, could catch the fan on fire. So we really have to be ready to go at a moment's notice as we are trying to bring the news to people. But yeah, we moved to a safer location where there's not quite so many embers around, and we're a little bit staying away from the fires. The other challenge, though, to be frank, has been getting a Wi-Fi signal. You know, we don't know if towers have been affected or, you know, how the Wi-Fi system has been affected, but we're having some challenge really finding areas where we can get even a signal and get up and come live to you guys.
Well, that's what we've been talking about here as well, and trying to remind people to power their phones when they can use them and when they still have power. And yeah, we do know that there have been a lot of
look at that, man. That's the PCH
all over the Southern California area. So certainly know what you mean there. And you know, I think it's safe to say, Lori, from where you are,
that beach access,
people are watching and saying, when can we possibly get back in their homes? Not tonight.
I can't believe all those houses are gone.
No, not tonight, and I would guess probably not tomorrow either. I mean, there's the extent of the damage.
I can't believe all those houses are gone.
You know, Tom Waite earlier was talking about tallying the damage, and you know, that's, to me, that's such a it's such a heartbreaking task that they're going to have to undertake when you start to think about how much has been lost. I mean, it's just
I can't believe that.
You know, I can't even put into words. I'm really stunned at this point, you know, and again, I've been doing this a long time, but this fire is just so intense, and people should not expect that they are going to be able to get back into their homes anytime soon. I mean, there's not power.
I should take my pass and jam down there and get in the mix.
Lori Perez, thank you so much for those live reports. And we were just looking at that video that Lori was showing us along PCH, all those homes and buildings that are burning right now. Just incredible video that she got there with her photography.
I can't believe
and what's so sad and tragic about this as well is, even if you don't live in that area, Malibu, Palisades, PCH, these are areas that everybody can go visit. You go to the beach, you know, you go on the water to enjoy some food at a restaurant. Some of those places that Lori talked about that are no longer there. Tom, we're pretty familiar with that, even if we don't live in that area.
Sorry, Pat. I'm so sorry. It's so loud here. Are you coming to me?
Yeah, I'm coming to you, Tom. You know, I was just talking.
Okay, sorry.
I was just talking with Susie about how devastating it looks.
Right,
but even if you don't live in that area, a lot of people go to PCH. They go to Palisades, to Malibu, to shop, to dine, to surf. So they are familiar with the areas that you are reporting from. So just as we're looking at that damage, is just it's just heartbreaking all the way around.
Wild.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, even if you don't live in these communities, you've probably been through them. I mean, here on Temescal Canyon, I mean, this is a thoroughfare that so many people probably traverse, maybe coming to the beach, maybe seeing friends or family. It's used by millions and millions of people, right? So people know these spots, and it's surreal to see them on fire. I mean, that's what we're looking at right now. The hillsides just completely engulfed at times. The fires do lay down for sometimes. The flames do come lay down, but then they pick back up. I'm going to take my mask off for a second. We finally got a little bit of respite. But yeah, I mean, you get a sense of just how devastating this fire is when you're standing here and watching a space that you know so well in flames. But Greg, let's spin over here to our right, and it looks like there's at least one structure up there on fire. I don't know if it's it's part of a house or like a pool house or an outbuilding, but there's so much of this, so much damage, so many homes that are engulfed on these hillsides, or structures, I should say. We don't. It's hard to make out what we're looking at, because obviously it's burning and it's dark, but nonetheless, there's so much potential damage. I'm curious, Craig, I hate to make you swing all the way back around here, but to our left,
this one is next
back to our left,
level.
the other side.
I think tomorrow it's going to be
I'm
like
just trying to figure out what that is up here. Do you see what I'm looking at? So we're going to try to figure out what this is. If that is a home, is that a home up there? It is a home, and it looks like it does look like it's on fire. It's not fully engulfed, but it looks like there is fire burning now. In that house. And
imagine just sitting and just being like, oh my God, it's my house.
I just feel terrible for whoever potentially could be watching this and wondering about their home.
There it is. Wonder
our
no
hearts
more.
break for you if
fire.
they do. And so many of us have been through these evacuations ourselves. And I said earlier in the newscast, my aunt was evacuated. She's lived in the Palisades for decades. And our, so many of us are connected to people who are going through these evacuations and who are going through these tough times. And there's just so much smoke and so much fire still burning. And the intensity of the wind, we've been saying it, but I can't describe enough to people.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been standing in this now for, 6-8 hours, and it's unrelenting. It just doesn't stop. And it just makes this job so impossible for firefighters. And they try to save as many houses as they can, but you look at a home like that up there.
Fire.
How could the outcome be anything other than what it appears it's going to be, right? I mean, it's on fire. And I don't know that there's enough firefighters at this point to stop every one of these homes that are catching fire. A lot of black smoke coming from the
it's gonna be a
areas next
long
to it. I
night,
can't
man.
really see what's there.
Dude.
It's not clear if it's another structure, but this wind is carrying these embers from house to house, and we just look up and down these roads and wonder, like, how long will this go? How long? And we know that the winds are just picking up, right? So it just seems like it's going to be a long and hard fight and a long and hard recovery, Pat.
Wow.
Right, no true words were spoken. And
they can't fly in
not helping these firefighters, of course, is the weather, is the wind, because we don't have the resources that we could use. We do have choppers with night sun that are able to fly at night, but certainly not in this situation. And we're just
this
hoping
kind of wind, man.
to get some word that these winds will die down at some point, and they are able to get more air power to help them fight
burn down the
this
ocean
fire.
by now.
Certainly help. Meteorologist Danny Roberti is standing by with a look at how this is all just really getting underway now, Danny.
Yeah, it is. So really the focus, and we've been talking about it, focus for these really strong winds. It's really right now until tomorrow morning. So for the next 12 hours at least, this is going to be a critical time period. And the winds, they have not stopped. I mean, these are just numbers that you're seeing on your screen. When you see Tom and Lori and Nicole out there, and you can see the force behind these winds. I know a lot of you at home probably seeing it in your own backyard. I mean, it's so tough to see. Man. And it's not just the fire danger that we're talking about, but these winds, they cause a lot of damage. And what makes this so unusual is that it is so broad and widespread. And these winds are powerful in a lot of areas. That includes areas that don't get in on the Santa Ana winds, like the San Gabriel Valley. So let's focus on what's happening right now and what happens next. And we're going to talk about when these winds move out of here. That's going to be the big focus. Now, as you can see, we've got really strong winds pushing through Simi Valley, Santa Clarita. These winds are coming out of the northeast, and that's what's drying things out. Gusts between 55 and 65 miles per hour through the Santa Clarita, right there near Silmar, where that fire is burning. 52 mile per hour gusts in Burbank. Now, Burbank, not as strong as it was a couple hours ago. Pasadena gusts up to 47 miles per hour. It's blustery through the Inland Empire, over through the Santa Ana Mountains, into inland.
I can't deal with this girl. All right, let's go. I think I've almost reached maximum fire, and this is almost too gnarly.
There's nothing now blocking this view from the ocean. Normally these homes are just sandwiched together, and I want to show you north on PCH in this active firefight. So this is the first active firefight that we have seen so far in all of our coverage this evening and this afternoon. I mean, I think we've been on since about 3 o'clock. Have not seen any firefight that's been trying to protect structures. This is the first one. And they're trying to obviously protect these homes on PCH. These are very nice homes, multi-million-dollar homes, all of them. But look up to the end. So those obviously total losses. We've counted at least 5, but it is so thick with smoke out there. It's hard to tell exactly what we're looking at, but at least 5 homes here. Total losses. And if you look in that back again, that used to be just a few minutes ago, that was a skeleton of a home. You could see kind of the bones of it. You can't see the bones anymore. That's just gone as well. So that is likely going to be another hole where you can just see straight out to the ocean. The one behind it, same kind of thing. When we got here, you could see very clearly that there was a structure on fire. Now we just see flames shooting up from that part of it. So a lot of property has been destroyed here on the ocean side of PCH. I have not seen this in many years. And this firefight seems to be focused now on these 2 homes that are kind of in the middle. It's hard to tell whether or not they burned out, but we have seen a lot of flames on the beach side. So on the sandy side of the, of that home, we've seen flames kicking up, and they look very large at times. Now here, these winds, this is what's different. The winds are just a different beast right now than we've seen all night. I've covered hurricanes on the East Coast, many of those. This is similar in terms of the just ferociousness and the strength of the wind gusts that we're seeing out here. I mean, there are some that just come out of nowhere, and they're literally knocking us over. And you can see what's happening with this line of water right now. Look, it's just, he's shooting it out, and it's just not going anywhere. It's just shooting right back on those firefighters. Look at that. So that's what they're up against. I mean, even if they are trying to shoot, here's one of those big wind gusts as well. This is unlike what we have seen all day long in terms of just the strength of these winds. This is something else. I mean, this is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been forecasting, that they would kick up at around this time. That's exactly what we're seeing. Again, look, they're trying to spray water on the structure, and it's not going anywhere. It's just blowing right back on them. So that's obviously very concerning for firefighters. And again, we're in Malibu now. We've been in the Pacific Palisades all day long, but this is moving. This is moving north. There is no containment on this right now, and it is still just burning out of control. So firefighters are doing everything they can to try to protect the properties that are still standing. But look at what they're up against. These winds are so ferocious, they can't even get water onto some of these. So it's just an incredibly difficult fight that they have ahead of them throughout these hours, especially as this wind continues to kick up and fan these flames, fuel these flames. So much devastation here all along PCH. I mean, we've been down all the way to Temescal. Now we're north. We're actually very close to the Tuna Canyon. We're north of Topanga Canyon as well right now. And I mean, the entire way that you're driving on PCH, it's just fire. If it's on fire, it looks like it's already burned. And it's pitch black out here right now, so it's hard to tell exactly what we're seeing. But as we go down this way closer to Topanga Canyon, you've got the Reel Inn, the Malibu feed bin, which is iconic. It's been there for so many years. Chelada Thai, all of those establishments are gone. You drive by and there's just nothing there. Not even the bones of those structures are still there. So this is a devastating fire, as we've been talking about, not just for these homeowners who have absolutely nothing to return home to, but those business owners as well. I mean, this, is such an iconic stretch of PCH that is now just up in flames. Look
at what the wind is doing to these embers as well. It carries them straight up, and then it's just going to slam them in one direction. We've seen this over and over again. It's like a little tornado that kind of pops up, swirls them around, and then it just pushes them somewhere else. And that's, of course, what firefighters are concerned about when it comes to these large embers. What if they land on the roof of another one of these homes? These homes are all packed so tightly together. You get one ember in the eaves or on a roof, and then that house goes up. And that's what we're seeing, obviously. But the good news is that we do have first responders here. We have firefighters here on the scene. Again, they've got their work cut out for them tonight. Look at those active flames further down on PCH. Just an incredible scene. I mean, just apocalyptic is the word that keeps coming to mind tonight. Alex and Marla, excuse me.
Yeah, it's appropriate. It's fitting, unfortunately. All right, Chelsea, we thank you and crew. Let's get the latest on those wind speeds from Adam Kruger, our chief meteorologist. And what are they like right now?
They're as strong as they've been all day long, and that's saying something. We know how strong they were earlier, and, I'm just thinking the amount of insane video we've seen today, it's a little bit overwhelming. So many images, and we've talked to so many people. Reporters have interviewed so many people. They all have their own unique stories and challenges they're going through. Keep your neighbors in mind for not just these next few days, but weeks and beyond. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to need a lot of help for a while as we have these fires and these houses burning down and everything going on. All right, as far as our winds, now they are peaking. We expected that to happen around 9 o'clock tonight. That's exactly how it played out, peaking between then and 9 a.m. tomorrow, meaning that's when the winds are at their strongest. Chelsea mentioned like a hurricane, and I mean, technically, yes, these wind speeds are up into hurricane force. 74 miles per hour and up would be like a Category 1 hurricane. We've seen gusts get as high as 80 to 90 plus in some of the higher elevations around our area. Again, those peak gusts, like we've been seeing for the last hour or two, continue through 9 a.m. tomorrow. Also tomorrow, we've got the humidity going down even more. It gets a little bit drier, and these extreme conditions are widespread. And I say that because we're focusing a lot on where the fires are, but winds and just weather conditions like what we're seeing where these fires are, I mean, that's going on over a huge part of Southern California right now. We're going to switch now to forecast wind gusts. And by the way, like I said, we've seen around the foothills, 50, 60 mile per hour gusts, even above some of the higher elevations, 80 to 100 mile per hour gusts that occurred in the last couple of hours. Here's we look at midnight and we take it through the night into 4 o'clock in the morning. And this is what we're talking about. I mean, nothing is going to change with the winds. The direction will be the same. So out of the north-northeast, meaning it blows to the south-southwest. If you follow the streamlines right here, that's the direction the wind will be blowing. I don't expect any change in wind direction really in the next 24 hours. Wind speeds. This is the model showing gusts over 50, over 60 in several locations. Here as we go into 8 o'clock in the morning. And again, keep in mind, winds might not be exactly like this, but this is giving us a good idea of what's probably within the realm of possibility. Still many areas 50, 60 and above. It shows Pacific Palisades, for example, it's 65 mile per hour gusts at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then we get to noon and we're past what we would call the peak of this, but it's still very windy. It's still dangerous. There's still dry air. Here we go into 5 p.m. tomorrow, looking better. But, on a normal day, this would still be a pretty significant round of winds. And it's still going to be dry. And red flag conditions actually continue into Thursday, but perhaps even Friday. Relative humidity, we've seen it below 20% today and tonight. That continues to be the case in some areas. Watch as we take you into midday tomorrow. We've got those single-digit relative humidity showing up. So that's what I was talking about. It's going to get even drier tomorrow. And then here's why the winds have peaked and ramped up in the last couple of hours and why they stay strong overnight. It's this low that's passing by. And on the kind of north and northwest side of it, notice where these lines are bunched up close together. That's where there's a big difference in pressure in a relatively short distance. And that's where the winds go at their highest speeds. And this is happening a little bit higher up in the atmosphere. So that got lined up over us this evening. It's giving a little extra boost to the winds that were already very strong. And it's going to be not until midday tomorrow when that low goes far enough south to where we don't have the most intense winds right overhead. High wind warning is in effect until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Red flag warning for all areas Tuesday and Wednesday. Then on Thursday, a portion of LA is excluded. Same thing down along the coast through Orange County, but still a big area Thursday remains in a red flag warning. And then here we have Friday. The National Weather Service has placed these areas under a fire weather watch, which means this may turn into a red flag warning on Friday. And not to get too far ahead, but I'm looking at some computer models suggesting around Monday of next week, we might see like a moderate to strong Santa Ana wind event pick up once again. And I just say all that to keep in mind that, it's not just a tonight thing. It's not just a tomorrow thing. It will, yes, improve as we head into the end of the day tomorrow and Thursday, Friday. But this is going to be a long stretch where we really need to be on our toes. We see what can happen when these weather conditions pan out. If a fire starts, it can get out of control very quickly. That's what we see going on tonight. So again, keep all that in mind for the next several days. But the worst of the winds, strongest winds, last until about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Guys.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. It's the bottom of the hour, 11:30. This is typically when I have said good night, LA, to you after our 30-minute final newscast of the night. But our coverage does continue tonight, of course, because of not one, not two, but 3 fires that are burning. Our focal point has been on the Palisades fire all afternoon since this is a live picture from our Santa Monica camp, since this fire erupted at 10:30 this morning, so 13 hours ago. We've been live with you, wall-to-wall coverage. Then there's the Eaton fire in Pasadena. That has grown to 400 plus acres. And then the Hearst fire in Silmar, that started off at about a 50-acre fire. That one has burned to about 100 acres tonight.
So we are now in our 13th hour of coverage of these multiple fires burning. And the really scary part is the worst of it is potentially still to come, with the winds overnight expected to be even worse than what we have seen today. And that is why we keep seeing fires popping up throughout Southern California. Let's hope we have seen the last of them, but unfortunately, it is likely not the last of them, which makes this even more complicated because it becomes a bit of a whack-a-mole situation, and you only have so many resources, and you can't put them all in one place because other fires could start to pop up. Our crews have been around Southern California all day long doing extraordinary work in very difficult circumstances, and that continues late into the night. We will be with you for several more hours at least as we try to get through this situation together. A reminder as well that you can watch our coverage not only on TV, but on the Fox local app if you have to evacuate your home, if you lose power, if you're out of the area or out of sorts and you want to get information, Fox local app, search for it in any app store. It's free. You can stream all of our coverage, and all of our coverage today is commercial free as well.
All afternoon, we were lucky to report no injuries, but that changed tonight when this happened. An LAFD firefighter was hurt tonight battling the Palisades fire. Here she is.
We're on loops. They're looping it. So I think I'm gonna get going, dude. I've peaked. Well, just be grateful it's not your house burning down tonight. Tell the people you know you love them. Hug your kids, hug your wife, hug your husband. Take a good look at the world you inhabit and appreciate it, for this is the day we have it. There's no guarantees with tomorrow. And with that said, be safe out there. And we'll be back tomorrow, dude, because guaranteed this isn't going away. And with that said, good night. God has blessed us. And just use the name tags and treat people kindly. All right. Good night.